Trinity House. This is Barney. How may I help you?
I grew up here in Columbus as an only child. My mother bought a restaurant when I was 2, so I worked. I can remember going to work as early as like 4 years old. She found me things to do. Back then there wasn't any child labor laws, I don't think. But she found me something to do, fold boxes, roll silverware. So I just grew up working a lot. She had 2 jobs, owned that business. And she kept foster kids. So I'd have someone to play with. Around the age of about 8 years old, I remember sneaking food, and I began an eating disorder at a very, very young age. Growing up, I was overweight, and by the age of about 17, I just didn't want to be the fat kid anymore. So I developed a full-on eating disorder and became anorexic. I began to work out obsessively. I began to get into a lot of bikini contests and clubs and going out all the time and partying with my lifestyle, and ended up just running wild. I did a lot of fitness pageants with ESPN. I was Miss Spinnaker 1990, which is a beach club. Was part of all that partying, and it was just kind of a fluke that I was going to enter this contest on one weekend in spring break and end up with a very large amount of scholarship money, the extreme amount of scholarship money. Then the pageants with ESPN started winning, and I decided I wanted to go to Auburn. I was there for about a week and a half, and I went out one night, thought it'd be a good idea to do a hit of ecstasy, and I went to practice the next morning. The fitness team practiced every Saturday morning early. I never went to bed. I was still up, and I went in, been up all night, smelling like alcohol. They drug tested me, and I was out. It was it. I'd lost my scholarship. I'd lost my place at college, and I never went back. From there, I just kind of floundered around a little bit for a few years. When all my friends were graduating from college, I found myself in rehab. I was graduating or completed my first rehab. And I got pregnant. I had my first daughter when I was 25. And I couldn't lose the weight. I'd gained, about 100 pounds. And I started using diet pills after she was born. And that's how I found crystal meth. Growing up in a household where you just go to work, you just work. You go to work no matter how you feel. My mother used to always say, well, if you die at work, at least somebody will be there to call an ambulance. You go. And so with all that work, I guess I kind of felt like I had to perform no matter what. And I had to just smile and grin and bear it. I spent a lot of time just trying to make her happy, trying to make our customers happy. I don't even know if I was ever making myself happy. But it was a lot of performance, just performing. Seems like I just wanted to live up to other people's standards. Yeah. So I lost my scholarship, floundered around for a few years, went to work doing a lot of other things, worked for attorneys. But around my second marriage is when I really dived into the drugs. I wanted to be a good mother and a good wife and a good daughter and a good employee, and I kind of forgot about just being a good Barney. And so I lost myself. I completely lost myself into just trying to live up to somebody's standards. I'm not even sure whose. It wasn't too much longer after I started using drugs, I lost my kids. I lost my home, my car, my job, my husband. I lost everything. It took about 90 days, and it was all gone. So many years of just, I'm a chronic relapser. And so there's been years after years after years after years that I would get right for a little while, and then I'd get way left, and then I'd get right for a little while, and I'd get way left. And each time, God met me exactly where I was. It didn't matter how far down the scale I'd gotten. It didn't matter how good I was doing. God was still there. Ups, downs, ins, outs, it didn't matter. There was never a feeling of performance. There was never a feeling of being inadequate or being not capable of living up to His standards. He's always just loved me no matter what. He has pursued me relentlessly. I would think that after so many times of just screwing up, He might give up on me. Every time I came back to Him, every time I just said, God, I need your help again. He did it. He just did it. And it seems like every time He gives me this new sense of, He gives me this new sense of resilience. It's amazing where that energy to get back up comes from. I've beat myself down so much. My self-esteem, my self-worth. I've always questioned it. He's never questioned my self-worth. He made me. He made me, and I am who He says I am. It's taken me a long time to figure that out. And God started showing me my self-worth. When He started, when He showed me the love only God could show me, He's opened up some opportunities for me that I never in a million years would have thought I would have been given. You would never think that God would put me in charge or in a position to be responsible for other people. I mean, I wasn't responsible with my own children's lives, and now I've got 25 women here in a recovery program, in a shelter situation, in coming from jail or prison, coming from abusive relationships, coming off the street. He's put me right here at Trinity to love on these women just like he loved on me, to accept them unconditionally, to love them until they can love themselves, to hold them accountable, to give them responsibilities, to build their self-worth and their self-esteem, to just treat them like I wanted to be treated. The same people that I ran the streets with, I'm sitting in church now with them. I'm praising God with them. I'm worshiping with them. I just can't get over. I look around me on any given Sunday and I'm like, wow, so-and-so's at church this week. Gosh, I haven't seen them in a long time. I'm so glad that, we had all that time out there in the street together, but now we're sitting in the presence of the Lord. It's beautiful, is what it is. It's just beautiful.